right, y'all, that is y'all 11 minutes after the hour. Even this morning, we got the one and only Eurro. Eurro, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey. Here's a check of our front page news. The U.S. lost two civil rights icons this past weekend. Representative John Lewis and activist Reverend C.T. Vivian spent their lives fighting for racial justice and equality. Democratic leaders are going to meet today to consider a nominee for that congressional seat left vacant by Representative Lewis. Coronavirus cases are still rising across 40 states in the U.S. The CDC updated its guidelines on when people can stop isolating after they've been exposed to COVID-19, and it's gone from 14 to 10 days. In other news, tens of thousands of workers in more than 25 cities are expected to walk off of the job today in what's being called the strike for Black Lives. Now, this is in honor of George Floyd. The workers are going to strike for roughly 8 minutes in protest of systemic racism and economic inequality. Breonna Taylor's mom has filed a lawsuit, and in it says that Breonna was actually alive about 5 to 6 minutes after police shot her, but no one rushed to her aid. And in Georgia, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, who's facing a lawsuit from the governor over her mask mandate, says that as part of the lawsuit, Kemp is trying to block her from speaking to the press. Hot mess. That's a check of your front page news. Rock T, what's going on in sports?
Well, let's start off with the NFL, man. They're leaving it up to individual teams as to how many, if any, fans can attend games this season. The Las Vegas Raiders are leaning toward having no fans. Matter of fact, many of the big star players are speaking out, still very concerned and scared about trying to play football this season with COVID-19 still out there, of course. Quarterback Russell Wilson tweeted himself, "Listen, I'm concerned, but my wife is pregnant. We still want to play football, but very concerned." In the meantime, Major League Baseball are discussing how many ways that they can support and incorporate social justice elements into their sport. And last but not least, James Harden is getting dragged for wearing a Blue Lives Matter alleged handkerchief or mask over his face yesterday. So he's explaining what that was, but they kind of dragging him a little bit across social media. So I got more on that coming up next hour in the sports report, so stay tuned for that. Gary with the T, what's going on there, man?
All right, y'all, we are still praying for Nick Cannon, y'all. Now, Nick Cannon recently apologized, y'all, to the Jewish community for calling black people the true Hebrews, y'all, on his Cannon Class podcast while discussing conspiracy theories about the Rothschild banking family and the origins of white people with former Public Enemy guy member Professor Grip. Well, y'all, now Nick meltdown, honey. He had a meltdown, and it's very sad. He said, y'all, quote, he said, "I hurt an entire community, and it pained me to my core." He said, "I thought it couldn't get any worse. Then I watched my own community turn on me and call me a sellout for apologizing." He said, "Good night, enjoy Earth."
Wow.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty, like, damn if you do and damn if you don't.
Exactly. I mean, blessed spiritual. I mean, you know, he called himself trying to speak up for black people and stuff, and, you know, black people like, really? You didn't sold out because you apologize. So what do you do? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. But, you know, we just got to keep him lifted up in prayer, y'all, and see how this all turned out, because it's becoming very crazy, y'all.
Insensitive.
Exactly. So, you know, I guess he said the hell with y'all, but then, you know, he was allegedly talking about committing suicide, and I know one of his friends committed suicide this past weekend, so it's just a lot going on, y'all. We're going to have to follow these stories. The color today is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, is passion fruit. On the high end, you say passion fruit, and on the low end, you say beautiful yellow. That's your color for today. Now, Brad, what's going on with Kanye West?
Oh, Lord. He got something to say about Harriet Tubman, and he got something to say about abortion. I'm going to tell you all about it in the hot spot coming up next, y'all. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.